me about rock and roll. I am rock and roll.
Oh, what's happening? Oh, yeah, dude. Thursday, get fucked. Oops, was that too? That was like more than 7 seconds in. Okay, good. We wouldn't want to get demonetized before we get monetized. You know what I mean? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, man. The wonderful fucking Thursday. My guitar strings haven't got here. I'm very sad about that because usually the fucking place I get them from, Sweetwater. Dude, the dudes at Sweetwater, like, man, them guys are on it. So I don't know. Taylor, guy that was taking care of me before, used to get shit here in like 2 days. I think he got fired. Good for him though. Getting shit here on time. But I restrung my green Explorer, and I with some older, they're not like old, they were new, but some Diodarios I had. And I don't use Diodarios. I use DRs. You know what? Oh, there's nobody here. Let's go jump in here and get some drifting going on. But yeah, I usually use DRs. Like 10 to 52s. I use thicker strings because I like to downtune a whole step, or not a whole step, like half a step. I'm usually in D standard, drop C. So I 10 to 52s. The thickness, if you don't know what that is, it's the gauge of the wire. 10 gauge, real thin. 52 is a little thicker on top for the chugs. Keeps the strings tight when you're that down-tuned, because when you're that loose down-tuned, your strings need to be a little bit tighter for good form and function. Because in that, you just have your strings whipping up against the fretboard and all that kind of stuff, dead frets. Well, that's what I have going on with these strings because they're fucking shit. Dude, I can't. They don't stay in tune for shit. Like, I just don't like them. And then, like, the only argument I can ever get out of fucking people that play guitar and they tell me not to use DR strings is they corrode quick. It's like you're changing your strings on a regular basis. Like, you're supposed to. You're not gonna have your strings on your guitar that long for them to corrode that bad. It's just the way it is. I also had played before I knew that changing your strings on a regular basis was a good thing. I would go as long as until I broke a string, if I ever broke a string. So that tells you how long DRs will last. Anyways, I mean, you know, for some, not for all. Whatever it is. If like my kid and my favorite band plays the Diodario strings that I was just talking about, the XLs. The Elixir XLs. I just don't like them. I got some fucking nasty Cobalt ones too. Cobalt, I guess, is a different kind of steel they use. It's junk. I like trying weird wackadoo shit. That's like, it seems like it would be better. Like, oh, you gotta try this at least once. You never know, you know what I mean? But I like the high end that I get with the DRs, because I like Randy Rhoads and stuff like that, and that was all real high end stuff. Not high end like expensive, but like tone-wise, tonal. The strings have a nice high end to them. Especially when you're down tuned, it's a nice balance. Plus, my Explorer has humbuckers in it, which are super fucking hot, and they're like the best pickups I've ever fucking had. It's like those pickups are the quintessential pickups in like all music. So like, there's tons of songs that you've listened to that have been played through those pickups. Any Guns N' Roses stuff, like because he was playing on a Les Paul, which had those humbuckers in them. But it's very adaptable to like getting other people's tones out of them. Like I get Mastodon's tone out of them real well because that's what like Bill, this kind of pickups Bill uses. At least on the first couple of records, like Brent had a Gibson Flying V, like Silver Burst Flying V. I think everybody bought it when it came out. Like it was like everybody that's into that type of music, anyways. They were just a hot commodity, which is understandable because Flying V's #1 are the shit, and Brent Hines is the shit, and the Silver Burst is the shit. So he also has one that's green. I think it might be a Dunnable. I can't remember. But that's the next guitar that I want to get. I want to get a Dunnable, and then I think I'll be done with a Dunnable V. Like, oh, they're so good. Or a Hagstrom. The guitars that Ghost plays. Those things are the shit, too. Ghost is awesome. I'm actually going to see Mastodon again with Lorna Shore and Gojira, which is... we saw Mastodon last year with Chemist, another one of our favorite, me and my wife's favorite bands. Actually, the guys I was talking about that use the Elixir strings, are those guys. Ben has the guitar player has a Twitch channel that he's on every once in a while, and he is an absolute fucking sweetheart of a human being. The guy is top-notch quality human for sure. And like that nowadays means so much more to me than anything else. Oh my goodness. Like the dude remembered me and my wife from the smallest show ever they played, the worst show ever they played here in Vegas, like 5 years ago, and he totally remembered selling me a shirt and everything. It was absolutely fucking wonderful. Absolute fucking dude. And like just little shit like that, like, you know, because I talked to them in the band afterwards, because it was literally like this guy Jeff that plays guitar in town, in and out of bands all the time. Like if you're in the scene, you know who Jeff is. Actually, I think I have a recording of Jeff's penis falling out of his pants while playing on stage once. Hilarious, by the way. Fucking hilarious. He's actually throwing a band together. I should go try out for his band. Anyways. Yeah, it was his birthday, and this other guy, Chops Waka, he calls himself. I don't know his real name. He plays the drums. But he's usually the sound guy at the shows. He was there, but it was like a couple of local bands that weren't like established yet. So like they were just a couple of kids like playing music, and then it was like Chemist. Like these fucking like you know, at the time they weren't very well known as they are now, but like those the dudes in Chemist, the Chemist was always going somewhere. They were always going to do something great because they're just that good. But it was just funny. It was hilarious. You know, it was just one of those shows. Like when you're in a band, if you've ever been in a band, you play those types of gigs where you like, you're playing for basically you and your homies. Like you and the other band are playing for each other. It's fucking hilarious. What's happening? I saw you were streaming, I think yesterday. I didn't catch it. I caught it afterwards. Something about, I think you were playing Dirt 4. Yeah, I'm waiting for those strings to come in because I need to restring that Kramer right there. I I haven't even done anything with that one. Or there's this one back here. It's a Mockingbird, BC Rich. Dude, my kid's girlfriend just gave them to me. She just like, it's like, hey, I got these from somebody, and I don't want them. It was fucking sick. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, man, if you ever need help, like editing videos or anything, like I could totally help. If you need. Because I don't have like, what is that, shit, I can't remember the name of the one that Adobe has. I want to say Pro Cut, but I don't think that's it. I have Wondershare. Filmora 11, but it's like the paid for version. They told me I got lifetime free updates, and they came out with the 12, and they want me to buy it. It's real sad. It fucking sucks. But the thing is really good. It's whatever, you know. Just it's there. Epic. Hey, if it works, man. I was doing my first videos with the one that comes stock with your Windows programs. Real rough. But it, like, you know, it works for just starting out and learning how to do your jump cuts and your transitionals and whatever. Oh, I smashed the front end. Light works or something, yo. Yeah, whatever, man, you know, as long as it gets the job done. I think people put, like, I look up editing jobs all the time on, like, the internet, and Final Cut Pro is what it is. Yeah, right, it's rough. That's messed up. And everybody wants, like, college degrees and Final Cut Pro professionals, and it's like, you don't need Final Cut Pro to be, like, to make YouTube content, okay, Sally? Like, chill out. Your little crochet weekend thing doesn't need college education. Plus, college educated, like, it's almost outdated. And it's going to be outdated real soon. That whole college educated experience, fucking dumb shit. Because you can do everything on the internet now. Everything can be done on the internet. I have GTP write me songs. Like, chords to songs. It's fucking genius, and it's like good. It's not like, although it doesn't think, you know, it's not like critically thinking. It looks up other already made, you know, stuff and just, you know. But like, it gave me a song the other day. It was 3 chords, and it had it all laid out, and it was like a whole song. It was so fucking cool. It was so cool. I had to write me like poems and lyrics and stuff, and it's like, they're kind of cheesy, to say the least. You'd have to reword them to make them sound any like, you know, halfway decent, I guess. But yeah, totally worth it. College is so, it's, dude, even when I was 18, that was 20 years ago. When I went to college, it was, they were gonna charge me 98 something fucking $1,000, almost $100,000 to get a college education. And like, it was just whack, bro. It was just so whack. I had to quit. And I became a mechanic, which was an even worse mistake. If you ever get a chance, don't do that. Unless you go to school for it and you go like work on NASCARs or something, then it's cool. But if you're working at a shop, like, dude, those dudes, at least here in Las Vegas, every shop I've ever worked at, 90% of the dudes I've worked with were losers. And that's rough, dude. It's rough. Because, like, I never really had, like, I never really looked at myself as a high-level kind of person. So, like, when I was working on cars, I was under the impression that I was a loser as well. And if I had that impression of myself, which I don't anymore, and I'm thinking everybody else around me is that way, it's either one of two things. It's either it actually is, or I'm projecting, and I don't project, so like they're out to steal your tickets because that's how you get paid, because they get paid on commission. They're out to steal from you, the customer, because they need to get paid because they're not paid on commission. All I want to do is I just want to change parts, man, and help people. I don't want to screw anybody over, like, and like, dude, the final straw was I was working at a dude's shop. And this old lady comes in. She wants her fluids checked. So I'm checking her fluids, and all of them are in pristine condition. She's having a transmission problem or whatever the fuck it was. Dude tells me to change all of her fluids, and blah, blah, blah. She didn't care. She was going to pay for it. It's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Number one, it's like $300-400 worth of fluids. Get fucked. Number two, if you change the transmission fluid when there's a problem, it's going to make it worse. And I couldn't bring myself to rip that old lady off. Like, I just couldn't do it. I just packed up my fucking toolbox and I left. And I have not worked professionally on a car since. And that was in 2014, 15. I went directly to the airport afterwards. But it was better because my dad worked there. And it was cool. I wasn't doing what he was doing, but I was shoveling bags. Which is super hard, but also way fun, which is hilarious. I had more fun at a $10 an hour job just throwing bags around, hanging out with actual people, than making almost 20 working with just downtrodden fucking losers. And that's sad. I hate to say that because that's exactly what they were. Oh yeah, and I couldn't ever shake the fucking the idea of me being the criminal, like as a car mechanic. You know what I mean? Because that's like what you are. You're like everybody thinks that you're a criminal. It's real weird. It makes me sad. Because again, I just want to help people with their cars. I'm stuck. Somebody else shut up? Sick. Oh, you did. Sweet. In your van. Forgot that this van was in there. That's real funny. You have that thing tuned up or anything? I was on Reddit this morning trolling around, and somebody had posted in one of the Forza subreddits about wanting the dunes from Savage from like Dubai, not Dubai. Where do they like? Do you ever see like Iranian hill climbing? It is the most bonkers off the wall fucking shit you'd ever seen ever. It's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing you'd ever see. They take these real tiny Toyota trucks. They put the biggest fucking motors they can find in them, okay? They put paddles on them, and they just race as fast as they can up a sand hill. It is by far one of the funniest things, like, sport-wise, that you could do with a car. And it makes perfect sense for them, because that's, like, what they're around. But, dude, it's so cool. It's so cool. Yo, right? You just lug up to the the fucking like the chop on the engines are just, oh, it's amazing. I got caught the other day. It was in a YouTube loop of that stuff. Just watching these guys just barrel up the hills. It was phenomenal. And like the engines explode, and then like if they don't have the supercharger, the blower strapped down, it just goes flying off. Because I think on the funny cars they have them strapped to the engine, so when they blow off, they don't go anywhere. Which when you got grenades going off in your engine to move your pistons up and down, I think that strap would be useful. Woo! That was close. Oh, I'm going up. Can it be done? I highly doubt it because I think my front wheel's broken. Oh, you know what? This car's way too long for this. I can do it in the... Oh, I can do it in the Sherrier or whatever it is. Sherrier? I don't know. My big, dumb, stupid American brain has a hard time saying foreign things. Actually, it doesn't. I just don't read good. Come on, fuckface. Rude. Rude! It's my own fault. Go get this man some glasses. His eyes has gone sideways. Shit. Let's do this. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do this. Ooh. DK, I am not. Also, I don't have a 350Z that has a shorter, just shorter in general. Oh my goodness. You suck. You suck, you suck, you suck. What was that way? Oop, 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 oop. Yeah, but back to talking about music. I hit up one of my buddies from one of my old bands that I was in. He was the drummer. So if you know who Green Jello is, if you don't, they were a band in the late 80s, early 90s. They had a song called Three Little Pigs. It was on MTV and the radio for half a second back then, and that was about it. But like, the guy that owns the band comes into town, and he, instead of traveling with other people in like other musicians and bands, because musicians are like mechanics, they're kind of shitty. Money wise, it always has to do with money. But he'll come into town and like hire a band. So we were Las Vegas Green Jello for like 3 years. And so I hit him up, and it's very unfortunate that I don't think that it's gonna work out. But I just feel bad. He's just like one of the dudes. But I'm at a point in my downstairs. I don't know why I thought that that was going to be a smooth transition. I just hucked a triple set in my, oh my goodness. It's just really rough, man. I don't, you know. Like, I got some shit I gotta do this weekend, so I can't play this weekend, but I'm at the point where I don't care about playing in the band anymore. And that's sad, because I've never not felt like that. Ever. Like, ever. Before I had a guitar, before I knew what it was about. it's just really hard, and it's nobody else's fault other than my own, because like I'm a little bit ooh, I'm gonna get out of the city real quick. I'm a little prejudgmental on things, but I expect a few things when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially when my music is up for grabs. Like if I'm the one writing the music and it's my music, I'm gonna have to have it played a certain way. Like, and I don't have, like, I'm not so closed-minded to where like I'm not open to playing styles. But the problem is can you keep up? I don't slow down. I'm like, I think the lowest or the slowest that I can go comfortably is like a $120, and I know it sounds fucking weird. Oh, you play real fast. Playing fast has nothing to do with skill. I wish it did, because I would be the best guitar player ever. But it means nothing. So, but what it does mean is if you can't keep up, all my shit that I wrote at that speed is gonna sound real weird. Slowed down. So again, it's no fault anybody else's. I feel like I'm complaining, but I'm really not. Like I hate to say it, it is the way it is. It just is the way it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. And if I give you songs to learn, at least listen to figure out the structure, and you just totally disregard that, I can't trust you. I have songs written. We could be playing them right now, but you didn't listen. It's fucked up. You know, I don't know. What do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet, man. It's like the dude. I can't say that because I do know a thing or two about it. I really do. And it's ultra frustrating when it comes down to that kind of stuff, because I really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I know what it's gonna take, and if you don't have what it takes, then I can't use you, because I have what it takes. And I'm not being conceited. I've worked very hard to learn how to play those fucking things and play them well, and without like hesitation. I just pick it up and I just write riffs. And I worked, real hard for like 8 years, toiling away, listening to songs, day in and day out, learning how to play fucking the solo for Mouth of War by Pantera, and stuff like that. Like, so when I say I know what I need, I know what I need. And again, it's rough, man. It's rough because I'm not out to hurt nobody's feelings. It's just the truth. And I know some people have a real fucking hard time with that. Like, and that's rough. That's rough. Because I don't see why the truth should hurt anybody's feelings. You know what I mean? Like, it just is the way it is. What's the problem? Oh, you can't manipulate it to your own will. Rough. Such is life, right? Unless you live by the numbers game. And then, the whole manifestation, if you will, if you're into the tinfoil hat stuff. Which is real weird, because that tinfoil hat stuff is fun to a certain point. Until you start thinking the world's flat, and like, Lady Gaga's a reptile. That shit's way too funny. I mean, please, for the love of Christ, let it be true. You know what I mean? Oh man, that shit's funny as fuck. I like that stuff, like Ancient Aliens and stuff. That stuff just fascinates me. I know it usually turns people off, but that shit's funny. That Bob Lazar, all that kind of stuff is hilarious. Not so much the Alex Jones stuff, because that guy's That guy's a bit wackadoo. The InfoWars and the tinfoil hats. They're putting fluoride in the water, Joe Rogan. It's making frogs gay. Like, that's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite because it's so preposterous. Like, oh man. Yo, and what if life was just as is? Like, there was no conspiracies. Like, you don't see Bigfoot that much because he really just doesn't like coming out. You know, Loch Ness, same thing. Aliens, same thing. You see what you get. There's no more, there's no less. The government is filled with a bunch of people that are just like you and me, that are just slightly more educated. And only reason why is because they had the money. And they didn't have enough brain power to think for themselves. Because anybody that easily manipulated by money shouldn't be in any kind of powerful situations. Because you're weak. That's just my opinion, though. Money doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you fucking cool, you know? And I think we're slowly figuring that out. Because there was some time there where being rich and having clout was like the end-all fucking be-all. But we'll come to a time also where we smooth out and nobody actually has jobs because everything's automated, and we're here just free to be creative and creating entertainment for one another because we have nothing else better to do. Be fucking fabulous. What do you got? What do you got? It's pink. I was gonna switch to my racer, but if we're drifting, I'm just rambling too, so I don't know. There was like 10 people watching. Start talking about Bob Lazar, they're fucking out. I love it. I love it. Or they just got tired of looking at his old ugly ass mug, which I'm okay with too. Boring, Sydney. Boring. Like, again, back to the music stuff. The like my old band that I was in before the Green Jello stuff, chumps. They're all chumps, and it's real sad because like, are the 2 out of the 3 of them are like good people, good, real like humans. The singer is a little racist fucking fuckboy piece of shit. Like, wholeheartedly 110%. He, like, you know, they wrote the book about fuckboy and, you know, little racist fuckheads. They wrote the book and they used him as the guidelines. Narcissistic little piece of shit. Anyways. They've been at it for 15, 20 years with never progressing. Not one moment of progression forward in that band, and it's real sad. It's real sad. Their skill hasn't changed in 20 years, 15 years. Like, their position of their band in the local hasn't changed one bit. So, I mean, then again, how could your band rise, like the Cream should, if all you're doing is, you know, thinking that you're as good as it gets. My car's overheating. You know, because you're not. Nobody's ever the best at anything. You know what I mean? There's always somebody out there that's better than you, 100%. I'd hate to be the best at something, because then, like, that's it. Ah, thank you. Because not all servers have this drag radiator. So now I'm going to be able to drift non-stop without it overheating. And that's awesome. At least it should anyways. Again, I'm not also not the best fucking guitar player ever. Like, I don't think of myself as like better than anybody else. I can let my dog out. But I do know my worth, and I do know who I'm, you know, worth more than, and that's rough. Because that can be taken as, you know, like conceitedness or cockiness or arrogance or whatever you want to call it. But I try not to, I try not to put myself out there like that, because it's gross. Because you know, people have a tendency to mistake confidence for, you know, whatever. I don't think all the time, but if you spread it out a certain way, you know, people have a tendency to take take it that way. I'm gonna go over here to this mountain. This has a really cool little run here. Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm looking at a text message. Can you drop Tristan off at Henderson Hospital? She thinks her appendix is broken. I have to go. I don't know if I'll be back on. If I do, I'll be back on in a little bit. I have to go take my... There's something wrong with my oldest daughter. You what? So... Yeah, I have to go. So I'll see you later. I don't know how long it's gonna be. But we'll see you. Thanks for showing up, everybody. I'm sorry. Emergency trip to the emergency room.